Hello. My name is Elizabeth Summer Obileye. Some people know me as Elizabeth Obileye. That's my married name. But my maiden name is Elizabeth Summer. And I live in Bristol. I have been living in Bristol for quite some time because I brought all my children to Bristol so as to be able to focus on my job with the World Health Organization as head of translation, English section. I retired in 2009, and I have been here in Bristol, living quietly and trying to take care of my daughter who had health issues. So I'm hoping that there are people coming in to join me at this Facebook Live. I'm trying to tag as many people as I can to ensure that everybody is here, and then we can start. I had a challenge, and the challenge was to ensure that I had Facebook Live running, 10 of them, 10 times, and I'm trying my best to make sure that I do that. This is the fourth Facebook Live that I'm having. The first two was actually to try to overcome my fear of speaking impromptu, because I don't like preparing speeches. I prefer to speak impromptu, and to overcome that fear and be able to actually talk. And second was that I don't think I have a good voice, and that is what's been stopping me from speaking and doing Facebook Live, and that's the truth. So I'm here, and the thing is, I want to share some of my experiences, because a lot of people, I've heard so many stories about me, but I'm a simple person with 5 children, 3 boys, 2 girls. And those are the children I took with me to Congo, Brazzaville, and came here and put them in school so that I could face my career. And I have to thank God that they are alive, they are well, and they're doing their best. But indeed, I am their mother, and my maiden name is Elizabeth Summer. I did a lot of investment as Elizabeth Summer, and before I joined the United Nations. And when I joined the United Nations, I joined with my married name, which is Obileye. But because I see that some people know me as Elizabeth Summer, but not as Elizabeth Obileye, and some as Elizabeth Obileye and not as Elizabeth Summer, and there have been a lot of identity issues there. That is why I thought it's best for me to combine my name, Elizabeth Summer Obileye. All my degrees, qualifications, and even postgraduate degrees, I decided to have them in my maiden name so that everything pertaining to me, my educational qualifications and everything would come in my name as Elizabeth Summer. Elizabeth Obileye is my married name. If the man kicks me out of the house and I have to use the name, if he decides I can't use his name, I should be able to use my father's name. And that is the point there. Now I'm here, and we have talked about having a mastermind. The mastermind is to enable people to come in, discuss, and share ideas. And my intention is that we share whatever we know, and I would like to share a lot. And one of the things I can share is the fact that as a young girl, because I was a translator, interpreter, and with the Economic Community of West African States, and that exposed me to meeting very many high-level economists, financial people, bankers, ministers, heads of states closely, and once in a while having conversations with them. And because I would be in the meetings where they would be discussing some of these things, I got to know a lot about investing. I got to know a lot about how people think, and that actually did help me. And it pushed me to be training myself, going to webinars, going to seminars, going to meetings, as many as I could. And in fact, those who knew me well, because I didn't relate well with people. I was very quiet, withdrawn. So a lot of people didn't know what I was saying or what I was doing. But those who knew me very well knew that I was a very serious, studious kind of person. And while I was studying, it wasn't because I was such a nice person, but it was because if I didn't understand the topic, how will I be able to interpret? I don't know if you had attended any meeting at all when people are talking and only one sentence comes out from the interpreter, you'll understand what I'm saying, because so many information, vital information, would be lost. And I wasn't so good in the language. However, I easily grasp elements, information, and let's say the sequence of things. I easily understood subjects. And to me, if I could understand it, and if I could put it such that someone else could understand what I understand, that was perfect. I didn't realize that it pleased a lot of those who were at the meeting, because at points when people would be arguing, the speaker would say what I meant to say was A, B, C, and it would just coincide with what I had said. So that is what actually put me on course to investment. And I did do a lot of investments. I didn't have money because I wasn't girlfriend to the money bags or to the big men. But my salary, whatever I had, I was making sure that I was using it to buy shares, stocks, and even at that point, you didn't have to have £10,000 or £5,000. £30, £50, £10, you could buy stock, you could buy shares. And that is what I did. Fortunately, I also did meet up with some people who had integrity and who helped me either by advice or by showing me investors who could invest on my behalf. And I did try that as well. The only place I failed was that I did not follow through and follow up on my investments. I should have been following through. But understand me, I was a young girl. I didn't have any experience except the experience I had translating and interpreting. And I didn't have any support. I didn't have a spouse that supported me or a sister that supported me and said, okay, let's do it this way or let's do it that way. And that was a major issue, but I cannot blame them. I mean, I am big enough to take responsibility for whatever happened to me. I was just too naive, and that's the way I'll put it. But that's okay. It's not an issue. I hope whoever used some of my investments used them for good purposes and used them to grow, because I was growing and I was having other avenue where I could have money, I could earn money, and I was investing the money. And believe me, name an investment. I have tried it. I can tell you each investment or current investment now, the weaknesses and what to be aware of. Scams going on, true, but some of those ones are not scams, as people genuinely looking for new alternative ways of investing and making money, sometimes making mistakes and losing all the money. Sometimes they themselves would lose money. In fact, there was an issue of somebody to do with Bitcoin. He owned the platform, and I think maybe he was scammed or some money was taken from it. He couldn't take the shock. he went and killed himself. So it is not always that people are intentionally scamming others. I think I need to say that. I actually do need to say that. So the essence is, don't wait until you have huge amount of money before you invest. You can start investing now. I'm hoping that all of us will survive the COVID-19. I hope and wish that the virulence of the virus would decrease with time. I hope and pray that for those who've got it, that they'll be conferred some form of immunity. These are all genuine prayers, because nobody knows what is going on. And to be frank, nobody knows what is going on. I retired from the World Health Organization. So if I tell you nobody knows, believe that nobody knows, because the World Health itself doesn't know. We are all in this boat together, trying to see how to help ourselves. So if you tried any remedy and it helped attenuate symptoms or does anything, please do not be afraid to share. You can share with me, and I can send it to my colleagues in WHO, because although I am retired, what happened was that before I retired, I already was given life contract and was backdated to the year 2003. The funny thing is, about 3-4 days ago, I was getting really sad and stressed, and I was looking through my phone to actually eliminate some of the excess information I have, and I stumbled onto this letter that was sent to me that I should sign and return to them, offering me life contract and backdating it to the year 2003. I have it here. I haven't sent it to WHO yet. I don't think there's any point, but I am very much involved with WHO. I'm a member of their WhatsApp group, and I attend regularly. I take part as I used to take part, and I share the little I know. And if there are any information I think would help in any way, management, treatment, whatever, I always share with them, and I hope they appreciate it. Now let's go back to the point I was that brought me to having this mastermind. The third world is struggling. And why is the third world struggling? The third world is struggling because of mindset issues. We have a closed mindset. We have cultural and sociocultural conditioning that makes it difficult for us to break habits, especially when we find that those habits are no longer relevant and can no longer be accepted and acceptable in today's world. One of it is the issue of when people retire and all of a sudden you hear they are dead, or they retire and they don't get access to their retirement benefit. Why? It's because there was this practice. Other people will go and stand and collect the pension benefits of the people who have retired. And in order to do that, they have to pose as the person sometimes, or to pose as relations of the person, saying that it had been willed to them. And this is a very huge failing in the third world countries. I have experienced it a bit, knowing that there are so many people who've been standing as if they're Elizabeth Summer, because they got to know that the bulk of the investment was in my name as Elizabeth Summer. What they didn't know, that I also had other investments as Elizabeth Obileye, using my husband's name. So, but from what I have seen, a lot of retirees, especially African retirees, have this issue going on there. And people do not want to accept the fact that with the internet technology, it is no longer easy, no longer possible to go and take over somebody else's identity. They don't realize that. And it is time for them to realize. So I am saying, let us all, please invite your friends to join us so that they can learn from what is going on. So I'm saying we need to stop some of these practices. It is no longer acceptable. It can no longer happen that way. No, there's no point going to dispossess a retiree of his or her benefits. It is not allowed. In the past, it was possible, but now it is no longer possible. So that is one of the things I'd like to talk about. But yesterday I did give a strategy, and a strategy was look into your phone, segregate the names that you have on your WhatsApp into a group. And if you have a service to offer them, send out a mass broadcast. Or if you have a product to sell, send out a mass email for the product or a mass email for the service to see what response you have. Because if you have a response, you'll know then, okay, you have A, B, C as customers in XYZ location. You can now start talking to them directly so that the WhatsApp should not be just to say hello, how are you, and just talking. You can't make money with your phone. You can't make money through WhatsApp. The same thing with Facebook Live, or even Facebook, your Facebook page. You can't make money there. I have been studying a bit the techniques of social media and making social media work for you. One of the ways to do it is by using the hashtag. You can hashtag the people that you want to be on your Facebook Live. And that would go a long way to help you get people to have an eyeball in what you're doing. Now, let's put it this way. I am in Bristol, but even though I am in Bristol, if I received a WhatsApp message from you pitching me a service or a product, I might not be in Nigeria or in Egypt or in London or in Geneva, but I might be interested in that product. And if I am interested in that product, so long as when you're sending the message, always add your full name, your email, your telephone number. Once you do that, if I want to engage with you, I can send an email, or I can send a text message back, or I can phone and say, okay, I see what you are selling. I'm interested in it. Is it possible for me to have it? And how do I pay? Now, for those who have iPhone, you can have Apple Pay embedded so that people can just scan it, whatever payment they want to scan. And then you have a payment there. And so hashtag is important. You belong to groups, use their hashtag. And we have to start responding to ourselves, because we should not wait for the world to do these things for us. We should be able to do these things ourselves. And Facebook is asking me to bring you online, and it says can't bring you online. Okay, so that is it. Looks like my talk is supposed to be just about 20 minutes, at most 20 minutes. But I would like to know if that strategy of segregating your people in your WhatsApp group and then sending information, broadcasting information to all of them at one go about your services and product is working. Please, if it is working, just type yes. And when you hear anything I say that is useful to you or is important to you, just like or love whatever I'm saying. That makes me know that you are actually there and engaging with me. You are listening, because otherwise I will feel there's nobody there, and if there's nobody there, it will not help to boost my energy to to talk to you. So what we should now talk about is investments, and I have said a bit about that. Don't wait. Now, to invest, one of the tricks of choosing what to invest in, I always invest in something I know that I'm interested in. For example, when I invested in Apple, it was because I loved the name Apple. So, and that is why I invested there. When I invested in petroleum, like in oil, it was because as a translator interpreter, I was interpreting a lot of meetings, the OPEC meeting, not OPEC, APPA, because Africa had their own version of OPEC meetings. And I said to myself, this looks like it will become very strong in the future. And that is why I did that. I invested in the Eurotunnel shares. Eurotunnel they had attempted twice to build the Eurotunnel. Each time it failed. The third time was when I got to know nobody wanted to touch it. Nobody wanted to buy it at all. And I said to myself, if it is possible to actually construct that Eurotunnel, it would be a fantastic thing. And when I told the person I was referred to help me with investment, he was like, Elizabeth, this thing has been tried twice. It failed. You're wasting your money. I said, you can never tell. If you do not have that conviction to stand and say, I stand guarantor for this thing to actually work, it will never work. We are in a spiritual world, not only a physical world. We are in a spiritual world. In fact, WHO defines health as not just physical, but physical, spiritual, mental. This world we have is physical, spiritual, mental. Don't let anybody deceive you. That's what it is. And there is karma. You don't have to raise your hand, it happens. Because if somebody is taking undue advantage of you all the time and cheating you and you're not saying anything, you sit tight and watch. You'll see their ends. You just sit tight and watch. And then that's what happens. So just make sure when you want to invest, you're investing in something you like. Like one of the techniques I was taught was go through your house and see what is it that you have in your house. Because if you're buying it, it means other people are buying it. What is it that you have been buying? Say, I always like crackers. Do you buy crackers? Find out what they think. If they say yes, oh, we do, we like this, or cheese, we do, we like, or no, it is Gary, and there is any company producing that Gary or producing that crackers, invest in that company, because it means they have a product that people want. I'm not now talking about need, because from investment you will find out that your need might be different from your want. Your want is more powerful than your need. Why? You see some people, they don't have any house. They are renting. But they are ready to use 3 million, 6 million to go and buy a car. They don't need that car. They don't need it. They want it. That's why they'll do that. Whereas, if it was a house that that person needed, he will use that money and buy a plot of land and build the boys' quarters and stay there and be trekking or taking buses to work. So don't confuse want and need. Your want is much more powerful than your need. And like I said, the technique, go through your house, or when you visit your friends, discuss meaningfully. What is it the family likes to eat? What are the things the family would love to do together? How do they do it together? Get to know your friends from that angle, because these are the things that would inform you as to what to do. I was young. My colleagues were buying clothes and gold and all kinds of things. I was not wasting my time there. However, what I was doing, if I needed a dress, I'll save money, even if it is for 6 months. And I'll go to Harrods in those days, where nobody would go to Harrods. They go to the Liverpool Street, etc. No, I'll go to Harrods. I'll buy just 1 or 2, if that's all I can afford. And those 1 or 2, anytime I wear them, everybody will say, whoa, she's just stepping out of the fashion parade or something. No, she wasn't. But she was buying quality. So you have to buy quality. When you buy quality, it lasts much longer than when you buy cheaper. And as such, instead of using money to buy replacement, you can keep the money, and that money you use to invest in something more meaningful. Now, thank God, the financial sector is more developed than before. Now you can make money when the market is crashing. Do you know that when the market really plunged on the news of President Trump having COVID, do you know that some people made millions? You can make money when the market is crashing. And as you can make money when the market is going up. These are things you read. You Google. Google is your friend. Buy the books. Join the webinars and seminars. Some of them are free. Join. When it comes to paying money, you may not have to pay, but at least go and take advantage of the free webinars and get to know what it is. That little knowledge, use it to research. Go on Google, research, talk to yourselves, talk to people, and you're gaining. There's no relationship that is a loss. Every relationship is a plus. Oyemi is watching. How are you, Oyemi? Kayode Koyojo, thank you for being there. And Roland Fredericks, Henry Omorige, thank you for being here. This is a way of trying to make sure I let you guys know how I managed to get what I got. I didn't steal. And I wasn't in government to touch any money. I was in the United Nations. And I was facing my life in order to be able to save money to look after my children because I made a bad marriage. And that's the truth of it. I'm not ashamed to say it. It's better to be alive, divorced and alive, and living a life, than to stay in a marriage and be killed or die of frustration. So I'm not enemy with anybody, but there's no point anybody trying to think they're going to do me in. Nobody can do me in. Because I didn't steal from you, I didn't steal from anybody. And I'm in my home actually. This is my library, and I'm in Bristol. Oyemi knows where I live. She's been here before. She spent a weekend, I think, or so with me sometime. So, when your hands are clean and your mind is clean, nothing can touch you. Nothing can touch you. So please, let us see how we can help ourselves. In Nigeria is chaotic, yes, true. However, there are so many possibilities in Nigeria. There's so much that can be done, so much that can be achieved. We just need like-minded people, have an open mind, ready to work together in truth, in honesty, because the only thing that kills our effort of collective action is lack of honesty and too much individualism. If we are ready to work together, we can excel. We have the resources there. We have mineral resources. We have persons, quality, qualifications, specialists, experts. You'll be shocked that some of the so-called advancements being done here are being pioneered by Nigerians. So why can't we be in Nigeria in peace without people trying to steal our identities, without people saying that somebody died when somebody did not die, without concocting all kinds of stories to make life difficult? You are losing out both in terms of brain power with all these manipulations, which is witchcraft. But why, even if you have witchcraft or external extraordinary powers, why don't you use it for positive ends? Do you think these guys build a submarine to go down the depth of the ocean just ordinarily? God gives each one of us talents and strengths. It's how you use your talent that determines what your reality is. And they have understood this. Let us all understand it and do the best we can and make things better for everyone. I'm sure somebody will be saying, why has she not come? Why have I not come back to Nigeria? It's because of the fact that this COVID-19, without COVID-19, I would have come on holidays. Yemi knows. Sometimes, without even planning, I could just go get a plane and land somewhere. Then I call, hey, I'm in town. And I go and stay with friends. Unluckily, I didn't build a place for me to stay. A marital home that I built has been commandeered, and I'm not ready to go and tussle with anybody that I do not know, because I don't know who is there. If I knew who is living there, I'll tell you, yes, I'll go and fight. But I don't know who is living there. Hello, Sue Berry. Thank you for joining. I hope everybody's okay. My love too. That's a relation of mine here. I have a family here too, because my children got married and they've got children now, and I've got grandchildren. My family has expanded, and we were hoping that things in the world would be okay. So families will be coming to Nigeria and families will be coming to the UK. It's not only coming to the UK that is fun. Going to Nigeria, if I took you all to Calabar and I gave you a dikaneko, you won't want to go back to Lagos or Ibadan. You hear me? You won't go back to Ibadan. So wherever you are staying now. And Sue will probably determine that every holiday she wants to go to Calabar instead of remaining in Cheltenham. So let's be... the African continent needs to understand that with the internet technology, all the tricks that were being done of taking other people's identity can no longer work. I am Elizabeth Sama. Luckily for me, I was a sports star. I represented Africa in the World University Games. I was in University of Ibadan. I was known, really known. So it has been difficult for those trying to steal the identity to continue doing that. I wasn't talking about myself online. Why? It wasn't because I'm hiding anything. I wasn't hiding anything. My daughter was unwell, and I was focusing in trying to help her to get well without understanding what was going on because nobody was telling me anything. That is the case. And I'm not in prison here. It's my home. If I want to move from here today, I can move or go anywhere else. But I am not moving because I'm very comfortable here. Nobody is going to move me from here unless they use devious means. But even when they use devious means, they will carry the penalty on their own heads. I'm well. I don't have any COVID. I'm living here. I'm enjoying myself. I'm taking care of myself as everyone else is taking and should be taking care of themselves. Because like I said to you, don't think the World Health Organization knows what is going on or how to cope with what is going on. They don't know. We don't know. Everybody's trying their best to see how together it will be solved. We don't know who started the whole shenanigan, but this is the reality. We are all hoping that it doesn't mean the end of the world. That is it. And nobody has the right to decide that they want to depopulate anybody unless there is a different world from the one we are living. if there's a different world, they let them go. They may just go there and find out that the whole COVID-19 is worse in that different world than here. And you'll see them running to come back. And that's it. Because I have been told that there are several levels of existence, but whichever level they go to, they find out it's worse. Whichever they move to, they find out it's worse. They'll run back here. Because that is how it's going to be. Hello, Zoe. Zoe is my daughter-in-law. A fantastic girl. A very nice girl. And her daughter is Eva. Very brilliant girl. So, like you see, I have my family members here coming in as well to listen to me talk. And Zoe can tell you that this is my home. It's not prison. So all those who were telling tales that I was in prison, they were simply saying things like that because they were trying to steal my property. And I cannot allow them steal my property because I have grandchildren. I have Eva here. I have families here. Sue Berry is here. Zoe Berry is here. I have Eva, who is my grandchild. I have Joshua, who is my grandson. And many more will be coming. I have family in the US. My daughter is married to an American. So, Africans, it is no longer to be playing tricks of identity theft or identity switch. Stop it. Stop it. And that is why I made sure I was ready to work with whosoever to make sure that this is stopped. It is not right. That is what is keeping us underdeveloped because of the entitlement mentality and people wanting to go and dispossess other people and go and harvest where they have not planted anything at all. That is no. And if I have to fight it, I will. And I had somebody who was helping me in this fight. His name is Emeka Oguye. They maligned him exactly what they did to my dad, they did to him. And he's still in detention now because of corruption in the judiciary, in the police, in the prisons. You have to pay a bribe before you have your medical report and things. It is not right, for heaven's sake. It isn't right. I'm sorry that I'm deviating because I was going to talk about how I invested and where I invested before today, all kinds of funny things. Somebody here in this pistol was trying to to switch identity with me and told some people to interview me. She had an interview with BBC, told nobody. Then she asked some people to interview me and she sent my name to those people and put the name Betty Sanu. Betty Sanu. I'm not Betty Sanu. I'm Betty, and I don't even use the name Betty. I use Elizabeth. It's always, I always use it full. I'm Elizabeth Sama. If she wanted to use my name, my maiden name, I am Elizabeth Sama. If she wanted to use my married name, she should say Elizabeth Obileye. And that is why now, because I see that there's this confusion between who is Elizabeth Sama and who is Elizabeth Obileye, that's why I'm combining my name now as Elizabeth Sama Obileye. So that all the games will stop. Because there's no point. All the games must stop. My father is Dr. Samaipo Sama. He was a brilliant physician with the World Health Organization. He was there with Chief Odia. They were the two who represented, I think, Nigeria for the formation of WHO Africa region. So I know from a long, and that's the first African and Nigerian that the Swiss government flew in to give him Swiss nationality because the Nigerian government were trying to kill him because of his property. The same thing they're doing with Emeka Oguye. That's not right. Come on, that's not right. And as a result, they don't have the state-of-art hospital that they should have had. They don't have the state-of-art medical services they should have had. This is not right. This is not right. It is a no-no. No, and nobody has had the courage to come openly to say to me, Elizabeth Sama, we know somebody else who is claiming to be Elizabeth Sama. Or Elizabeth Obileye, we know somebody else who is claiming to be Elizabeth Obileye. Nobody. And I'm still waiting. I'm waiting. And if this thing with African Voices Forum did not happen, I wouldn't even have known that that is what is going on. And it's done by one lady called Betty Fanu. And she put her name and then change and put Elizabeth, Betty, the name Betty Sanu. And then called me and said, oh, somebody wants to interview you. I said, oh, really? What on? Give me the thing in writing so that I'll find out what the interview is on and everything, and then get in touch with them. She started playing games until eventually I said I will not show up for that interview. Then she now gave me the phone number of the lady. I called the lady. The lady sent me a poster and I saw this and I called the lady. I gave her my mind. Then a Caribbean from Caribbean, one of these Caribbean countries. Lady said, "Oh, she's sorry. Oh, she's sorry. She didn't know. I should send her a name." I said, "I'm not." I went on to their own this thing and wrote there that I don't like games. This is what is killing Africa. I don't like games, and nobody's going to play games with me. Oh, we will change it. We'll change it. I'm still waiting for them, though. That's their own business. I'm waiting to hear and to see who will come in here and say to me, "You are not Elizabeth Summer, or you're not Elizabeth Obileye. We want to take you to prison." Then you'll see the end of the world happening. No, I'm so sorry, but really I had to get this off my chest. And I'm waiting to know what the British government will do. I'm waiting to see what Bristol will do. And I'm waiting quietly to watch. It is then they will know that I am actually a staff member of the World Health Organization, life staff member. So anyway, that is it. End of rant. Please let this go through. Let everybody get to know that we can't continue playing and stealing identity of other people, dispossessing people. It's not right. We should stop it. Anyway, for investment, the only tip for today is don't wait until you have £1,000 or £500 or £200. It is possible to buy just one share or one stock at a time. Luckily, things have improved. In my time, they tell you can't even buy a fraction. Now you can buy a fraction of one. There are many platforms that allow you to buy a fraction of one. And it is necessary to do that. Buy a fraction of one and keep on buying and building up. That's how it should be. So thank you very much for being here with me. Thank you. And I was going to speak for only 20 minutes. I think I have exceeded the 20 minutes. I thank you. Tomorrow is another day. Same time, around 10:15 we start. And then if you have questions about something you want me to answer, please feel free to mention it. I'm in top health. There's no problem here. Thank you. Bye.